there, my name is Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. This is like the third time I tried to record this this video. It is a review of Westworld Season 3, Episode 2, and it's a good episode. You know, the capsule review is, yeah, I think it's safe to come back. I think it's safe to come back to Westworld, even after the egregious crimes of Season 2, which were extremely egregious. But then the weirdest thing, there was like a plague of bloody wasps outside my window just now. Like, what the hell's going on? Okay, we've got this global pandemic. We're all sitting inside, you know, we're all trapped inside. There's a plague of locusts heading towards the Middle East. Apparently, it's going to miss Israel with a plague of locusts. And I had like oh, they're back again. Like five or six really big wasps, like banging outside my window. And there was a dying wasp inside my office here. We live in strange times. So you know what's strange about this time? That Westworld seems to be pretty good again. Westworld seems to be, I think, on a par with... No, not on a par. It seems to be on track that it could well end up being on a par with Season 1 again. Yeah, I think, really, they got that whole Me Too guff out of their system. Now, I understand. Episode 1 had a lot of that Me Too feeling, but I'm not sure if that's not just not... You know, the DNA of the character of Dolores. I think that's part of her story, which I think is probably why they really over-egged the pudding in Season 2, because it was organically part of her anyway. So, yeah, but on the strength of this episode, I think we're in for some really interesting fare. So, but the problem is this: to really, I think to open yourself up to it, you need to forgive them. Yeah, forgiveness is hard. Forgiveness is a really hard thing to do. But my God, forgiveness is so good. Forgiveness is an underrated quality in the world. I really think if you can forgive them for their mistakes of Season 2, which were made, you could be open to watching something really incredible. However, it's something really incredible, which looks incredible. The money they spend on this is incredible. There is like very little stuff that's not in camera. It's all like, you know, they have a bunch of World War II stuff in there, so with German tanks and nothing is virtual. All the sets are real. They're all tactile, and it just must cost a freaking fortune. And that's the pity of it, because I just don't think they're gonna get the. I don't think they're going to get the viewership to justify the cost of this show, which is a real crying shame, because it doesn't need to cost as much. You know, I think the quality of the story they're telling is compelling enough that you just don't need it to look as incredibly beautiful as it does. And it does look incredibly beautiful. But you know, they're supposed to have a 5-series arc. I don't see them hitting Season 4. Which again, on the strength of this episode, a crying shame. So why is this episode so good? You know, because I think it's setting us in a really good, interesting new direction. But before we get into the episode, if you like your independent content here on YouTube, if you could hit that subscribe button, thank you so much. Listen, I've been saying this to everybody, but really, in an unprecedented way in human history, we are all in this together. We are all genuinely in this together. We're all trapped in our homes. We're cowering, you know, from this global plague. You know, how much more biblical can you get than that? But we're all in this together. And so, you know, if you could throw a Rabbi a bone, you know, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very, very much. That is really incredible. I give stuff away each week on this channel. I'm not sure when this video is going out. It's probably going out on Monday. In that case, you probably missed the giveaway, because it was going to be given away Monday night. If I'm awake enough. I'm really kind of tired right now. But if we're doing a Breaking Bad stream tonight, I'm giving this puppy away tonight. See the complete Season 2. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being the important part, and the hashtag I am the one who knocks. I am the one who knocks, and go and look at the video notes. It's got all the instructions you need. If I put this out after Monday, it'll be a different thing I'm giving away. And also, there's a Doctor Who audio story you can download, starring Nicholas Briggs as the Doctor from the mid-80s. It's really good. Anyway, go and check out the video notes. All that stuff is there. But let's get into this episode. And again, on the strength of this episode, I would recommend forgiving them for their egregious mistakes of Season 2. Look, they are caught up in the moment. It's very hard to not go in the same direction as the world that you're in is flowing. And they're in Hollywood, and it's flowing with just insanity, just pure insanity going back. So the drawback of that is that season 2 is just something I haven't wanted to go back and watch, which is a problem because there's a lot of stuff I don't remember, and the stuff about this episode which I need to remember I didn't remember, and it actually it spoiled a couple of things because so before we let me this episode focuses on was it Sandy Newton's character Maeve. Sandy Newton, freaking incredible! What an incredible actress! And honestly, this is an aside because I talk a lot about Doctor Who on this channel. If they wanted to do a female Doctor, this is the caliber of actor they needed to get. She's got such incredible. She's able to convey incredible strength and intelligence, and her character is so authentic and so real, and is a robot, and is an artificial intelligence. That's a real testament of real acting skill. And I'm not an actor, so I don't know what's involved. But I would have thought to be able to play as intelligent as as this character is, you must be pretty nice. So if that's the case, Sandy Newton is one very, very smart woman indeed. Because because again, the portrayal is just fantastic. So from my shaky memory of season 2, that her story arc is that she went looking for her daughter, and that whole thing felt shoehorned in, and it didn't really work. But she was going on a quest looking for her daughter, and she was trying to get her daughter and all the other host into like this silicon heaven. There's the robot afterlife, and I thought that's where she ended up last year. Her and daughter, she ended up there, but apparently not. No, that's not the case at all. So when she wakes up at the beginning, actually it was at the end of it was the after credits scene at the from episode 1. When she wakes up, I just assumed this is the simulation that she was in, and. I just assumed she was the incinerator, and somehow it was taken over by Nazis, been corrupted. It's got something. It didn't even occur to me. No, she's in one of the 6 Delos parks. So spoiler alert, lots of spoilers. So when it's revealed that she's in a simulation, like halfway through the episode, I'm like, well, didn't we just assume? No, when they started questioning if they're in a simulation or not, about a third of the way through the episode, I'm like, well, of course they are. And then it took me about a few minutes to work out, they think they're in the real world. It was only at that point when they started questioning if they're in the simulation that I realized they actually thought they were in the real world. So in the real world they thought they were in was Warworld. She wakes up and she doesn't really know what's going on. And she's in Warworld. She's in 1940s costume. She has a gun in her hand, and she's in a loop. She's in a new loop, and we get to see Hector again. And I think she believes herself to be in a simulation at that point. I'm not sure, because she assumes Hector knows what's going on, and it only comes apparent a little bit later as they play through the loop that Hector has no idea who she is, who she really is, or what's going on, and then she's killed. And she commits suicide because she needs to like restart things, and she wakes up and she's in the mesa again, and like the guy who again I thought was killed, might have been killed in season 2, the one of the technician guys, you think recognizes her, but you're not sure, and then we have this great reunion with Lee Sizemore. And I think it's really fun to see him again. So I thought he was killed at the end of the second season, and then they said, "Oh no, he survived." So this whole episode is about Maeve and the way she's able to deduce things, the way her artificial intelligence has become genuine intelligence. It's really, really, really fascinating. So it doesn't take long to realize that Sizemore isn't real, and there must be a simulation they're in, because Sizemore's really dead. Because Sizemore starts coming on to her saying, how much he loves her, and then there's a wonderful line. She said, "You didn't help me because you desired me or you wanted anything in return." She says, "You helped me because it was the right thing to do," and I remember that. That was really great. And she says, "Lee Sizemore died a good man," and it really is. It's a wrenching moment when you realize that he's not real, and that his whole redemption his whole redemption arc this resulted in him really dying. So the next thing is she tries to overload the simulation to disrupt it, to start it glitching, and this ends up with lots and lots of cool like bullet time stuff. But so that we have we have the May storyline going on, and then we have the Burner storyline, who's just made it back to Westworld, and he goes to like the bit of underground, which I think is supposed to look like the Westworld from the 1970s movie. I'm pretty sure it does. And he meets Stubbs. Now Stubbs again. I forgot Stubbs. Spoiler! I forgot Stubbs was a host. And so Stubbs, he says his mission was to protect the hosts, and now they're all gone. It's all over. He tried to kill himself. So they all have an explosive charge in the back of their neck. So when it will go off whenever if they try and leave the park. And so he tried to shoot it and he missed. But he does this. Who is it? It's one of the Hemsworth brothers. He does some really good work, like glitching, doing all that stuff, which I found. I found that really good. I like the idea of like him committing suicide because he's reached the end of his program. Really, again, I just love this like taking computer in artificial intelligence and putting it in a real world and putting it into a story. So we got this like really nice kind of team up with Byrne and the Stubbs that I think is going to go. It looks like it's going to go throughout the season. They go back into Mesa, into one of the and they go through one of the worlds, which looks like, okay, is it Westeros world or is it medieval? Could be either. In a bad move, which could have been great if a Game of Thrones wasn't awful. Season 7 wasn't awful. There's a cameo by Dan and Dave Benioff as they're technicians about to hack up a dragon from either Westeros world or medieval world. I'm assuming they use the same like computer model for the dragon. For that, it was a cute little thing. So so now how many parks we've seen? We've seen Westworld, we've seen Samurai World, we've seen War World, and we've seen Medieval World. Wonder there's a Rome in the movie. He had a Rome World as well. So I wonder what I guess I guess we'll find out in time. The park's been shut down, and they're just like a skeleton. Skeleton crew there? So Burner's able to hack his system with a blank tablet. I like those cool little tablets they have to find out if Dolores has messed with his code, and then we find out that that he's alive. He's only alive because Dolores has reasoned that she needs a foil to oppose him. So basically, Bernard and Stubbs are becoming one set of forces lined up against Dolores. So again, at that point, I kind of saw this season as they're putting everything on the board for a titanic battle against Dolores with the fate of humanity, in the balance. Fine. So with Stubbs, so now because he gives Stubbs is about to kill himself again after Bernard's about to leave, and then Bernard gives him a new directive to make him his protector, his bodyguard. So he's in it for the season, I guess. So then we have this really, really, really cool and looks very expensive scene where Maeve adds in so much like different factors to the simulation that she calls it to freeze. Absolutely fantastic. In the little making of thing afterwards, you saw how they did it. But again, the bullet time stuff looks absolutely fantastic. And the money they spent on this, absolutely incredible. But she's able to do that, and by doing that, she's finally able to work out where she is in the physical world, and she's in like this base and this place, and she commandeers a robot-looking robot to break out her little ball thing, which has her entire universe in it. So that's a really really good sequence. That he takes it over, and the robot runs out, and eventually is gunned down by a bunch of people and is killed. And then we ends up with Maeve waking up again. This episode has her waking up over and over and over again, but this time you get a feel that it's something new, that she's outside of her loop, and or more interesting, I think she's going to be put onto an entirely different loop. So he wakes up in the real world, and she's been acquired by this gazillionaire who is another character who's aligned against Dolores. I think this guy is a guy who invented the big supercomputer that we saw in the last episode. But Bernard and Stubbs are on the way to find the son of the guy who invented the supercomputer. And so Maeve and this guy is another force lined up against Dolores. So again, it seems to me that the whole point of this season is we're going to have this titanic battle between Dolores and these different forces, literally for the fate of humanity and the fate of what do you want to call them? Hosts, synthetic. But my point is this: this is really good science fiction fare without agenda, without agenda, played out with a quadrillion-dollar budget, with incredible cast, and I think with really good writers. I think again, season 2 was very disappointing because it got hijacked by Me Too, and I think the reason it got hijacked by Me Too, as I said, I think Dolores' character naturally tells that Me Too story, naturally tells the story of somebody who's been abused over and over and over again. So I think that's why they co-opted it. But on the strength of this episode, I think we're in really great science fiction fare. But as I said, you've got to be able to forgive them. If you can just open your heart to forgive them for season 2, I think the reward for it is the reward for it is going to be a really good season 3, but probably leaving us with a cliffhanger that we're never going to resolve, which is a problem. So I don't know which way to recommend it to you guys, but yeah, let me know what you think. Well, honestly, really worth coming back, at least for this episode. That would be my Potter review. My name is Sheila Becken, the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop, and have yourself a fantastic, if somewhat isolated day.